I've had the pleasure of interviewing your husband, but it's a greater pleasure to welcome you to the podcast studios.
Very nice, Mr. Roland.
Thank you. That would be
nicely said.
Ms Vaughan.
Hello. It's my first podcast. I'm a massive podcast.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I love podcasts,
All
just
right.
for the record.
Oh, God. So we're going to have to really delve in. Is that right?
Yeah.
As I said to you before, I don't know where this is going to go. It depends on the answers to your questions.
Yeah.
Okay. How did you end up? Have you always wanted to become a teacher?
No. In fact,
Okay.
No. In fact, if you had asked me when I was a teenager, the last thing that I could imagine becoming was a teacher.
Really?
Because I had a mum who was a teacher, and I could see that she had homework and she had endless marking and there was never ending. And I was like, no way, I don't want homework for the rest of my life.
Yeah. As a teenager, you would. Yep.
And so, no, it's not at all what I expected.
Now, for some of you out there in podcast land, they may not know the connection between.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I spoke to some of the kids I taught the other day and they did not know that Mrs Vaughan, Senior, is my mum.
Is that right?
And yes, we make up 2/3 of the science department in the high school.
I've often called it the dynasty.
Really?
Well,
we've been called the Vaughan ultimatum.
Yes. But I looked at it and I thought, well, Andy comes in and occasionally does the
lab technician. Stuff. Yeah.
So Andy being your
Mrs.
father,
Vaughan's
Mrs. Vaughan's
husband. Yep.
And Richard being the librarian.
Yep.
So
certainly
do we need to be careful? Is there a...
Certainly is a family business.
Yeah, I can see that.
No.
No,
it's
that's
just
good.
kind of, I mean, I think it's really fortunate. We work really well together.
Sure. But you've done this before though, haven't you?
Yeah.
Where did you do it before?
We worked at a school in London together.
Right. Okay.
ACS.
Yep.
And it was brilliant. Like, we just worked very well together. We have
Were you in the same department then as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
We were both biology teachers, both middle school teachers.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a bigger department, and
Sure.
so there was more kind of interaction with
Yep.
others. But we knew that we worked well.
So how did you go from not wanting to be a teacher to being a teacher?
That's a good question, because I really thought when I went to university that I was going to go into research or do something kind of sciencey. I was And then when I got to university, although I really enjoyed my undergraduate degree, I was in the lab a lot, and I realized that actually it's quite solitary, lonely work. And I didn't enjoy it really at all. And so I took a couple of kind of years. I was in the wilderness for a few years.
You went walkabout? Did you?
Well, I kind of went to the UK and I did a bit of teaching English as a foreign language. And
in the UK?
No, I kind of went to Edinburgh for a while, did a bit of temping, trying to figure stuff out, and then went back to South Africa and did TEFL there. And then...
Whereabouts in South Africa were you?
Cape Town.
Cape Town, down the bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I, having taught adults mostly, I was like, this is pretty good.
Right.
I enjoy it. It's creative, it's dynamic, it's
and you interact
funny.
with people and kids
it's different every day.
Yep.
It's fresh, and I like that. I mean, I enjoyed it. So I think
go on.
Actually the influence of having a teacher in your family plays a really strong role in shaping.
It does. Well, my father was a teacher as well, so
it runs in the family. I mean, you talk to a lot of people who are teachers, and they're like, "Yeah, my parents were teachers."
So where's your first gig? Where did you get your first job teaching? Full time. Landed the first job. Where was it?
The American International School of Cape Town. So
Okay. So how long were you there for?
I was there for 4 years.
Right.
I was the sole middle school teacher. It was nuts.
Is it a big school down there? I mean, I know there's one in Joburg, but I didn't realise there was one in Cape Town.
Johannesburg is a big school. Cape Town school was when I was there about 400 students.
Oh, okay. A little bit bigger than ours. Yeah, all right. And then from there to where?
from there, I went to London to an international school just based outside of London. And then from there, I took a couple of years off to have kids and travel a bit. And then,
do the family thing.
Yep,
good.
And then I got a job in Jeju at Branksome Hall, Asia.
That's right. Yes, of course. And down there for 2 years?
2 years.
2 years, right. And then you saw the light.
Well, to be honest, I mean, once I started having kids, it was a hop across the world to get closer to the grandparents.
And it's worked a treat.
It's worked out very well.
Here you are.
Here we are.
With mum and dad.
Yeah.
And and Andy's retired, so he's not working.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have him on board.
Domestic treasure. He is.
And if you're listening to this, you're now known as a domestic treasure.
And he is.
I hope you do listen to that.
He's saved us a million times.
That's wonderful.
When there's 6 kids, and it's very, very helpful to have family around. As you know, being far away from family when you live abroad is not easy.
But it's nice for everybody involved.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Yeah,
Nikki, similar to your husband, we could just keep going on and on and on. But at some point in time, we have to draw a line.
Yeah, all good.
And I've drawn the line.
Happy that you have.
Thanks, Nikki Vaughan. It's been wonderful catching up, and we'll do it again.
Thank you. Thanks for help.
Every week, I like to have special guests into the studio here and talk about who they are, what they are, the sort of things that they enjoy doing. And I really enjoy having conversations with students. And this week, I'm privileged to have 2 grade 12 students, Jana. Hello, Jana.
Hello.
And Maya.
Hello.
And Maya in particular, you've been at the school for a long time, Maya.
Very long time.
When did you first join ISB? Well, it was probably BIFA, or maybe even ISB.
It was ISB.
It was.
I think I remember being told I was 2.5 when I first joined.
Wow.
So practically I've been here for 16
Whoa.
years. Yeah, this is my first and only school that I've ever been to.
Well, I tell you what, that's probably going to come close to the longest person who's been at our school since you were 2.5. So you would have been on the old campus on the hill.
Yeah.
We would have been on the same campus as oh goodness. Who was your teacher way back when? Who was your first teacher that you can remember when you joined us?
My playgroup teacher was Miss
Miss Palmer, was it?
No, I don't remember, but I still know there's an office admissions lady or someone that's been here from when I was in playgroup.
Yes.
I see her in the morning on after I get off the bus.
Sure.
So we say hi. And,
wow. So approximately 16 years at ISB, BIFS, back to ISB.
Yeah.
And you've moved from the old campus to the new campus.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about to finish.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I can't believe it. I feel like I'm already thinking about coming back here next year.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're welcome anytime. So are you, Jana. We'll get to you in a minute. But Maya, yeah. So how do you feel? This has been your life since you were 2.5.
It feels surreal still. I think it's gonna take a few months to actually realize I'm gonna be done here. And I've been like the campus changes and seeing a lot of, because it's an international school, we see so many people leave, and then I've seen some people actually come back.
Yes, me.
And that was really interesting too. And
wow. Okay, well that's exciting. Nervous, all those sorts of things, because it's going to be a big shift for you.
Very big shift.
All right, Jana, you haven't quite been here since 2.5, have you?
No, I haven't. But
when did you join us?
I joined last year in grade 11.
That's right. We had this conversation with Dad and Mum, and we were hoping you. And where were you before you came here?
I was in a school in Kodja Island.
Okay.
It was it's BIA.
Yep.
So I did it BIA at that time.
That's right. Yeah. How long were you there for?
2 years.
Okay. So you've been in total. You'll be 4 years in the country, or okay. Right.
Almost 4 years. Yeah.
All right. Well, how do you feel? I mean, even 4 years of being in country. So you've been in Korea for a while.
Yeah.
2 years at the school. How do you feel about this? It's going to finish.
It feels crazy. It doesn't feel real yet.
No.
It doesn't feel like next week is our last week of like actual classes.
No.
It's insane. And
Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you scared? I mean, or all of the above? Or
I'm really excited for university.
Good.
And I think the closer that I'm getting to it, the more scared I become.
Yeah, because it's the great unknown.
It's going to be very different.
Yeah.
It's going to be a completely different culture to what it is in Korea.
Any ideas as to where you're going? You don't have to share if you don't want to, but I'm just curious if you've got some plans to different continents, different countries, or what are you looking at?
Right now I'm in between the UK and Canada, but I'm leaning more towards the UK, but that changes every 5 minutes. It
does, but that's okay. But you've got choice.
Yes.
And I think for both of you, one of the greatest things that you're going to have when you finish this school and your diploma is choice. And you've got different countries and regions of the world to choose from. And Maya, the same with you. What about yourself? You got sort of plans post ISB?
Probably going to Japan because that's part of my culture, but I never lived there.
Yes.
So I want to really go back and probably attending university or college there and just enjoying my life there.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel really nervous because as I said before, I've lived here my whole life, and I've been encountering some Japanese culture through like going back in the holidays, but I never actually lived there. So I'm really excited to.
Have you got family over there, friends?
My grandparents on my mom's side are all in Japan, and my mom is also planning to come with me.
Wow!
So
to move over to Japan?
I'm not really sure because my dad's staying here, so I think my mom's gonna be coming in between.
Well, it's close. You can do that.
Yeah,
that's good.
And then we're moving back actually to a region that's near actually my grandparents. So I want to visit them more because I couldn't do that this year due to COVID.
Yes, of course. So, of course. Guys, it's been fantastic. I mean, I've learned, and I try and learn something from the teachers and the students that I talk to. It's been really nice catching with Maya. 2.5. Wow, a long time. 4 years in country, Jana, and you've got great choice with your future studies past ISB. Thank you so much for coming and having a chat, girls.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're live now.
Okay.
Jinhee. Yeah. One of the wonderful people that I get to work with in the secondary school is Jinhee. And Jinhee, whether you like this or not, you're an absolute legend and you work so hard at the school here. But a lot of the students just come and ask you something. And you go and do these wonderful things. So, hello, Jinhee.
Hello. The legend Jinhee is here.
That's right. And it is so nice to welcome you to the studio.
But, I'm so ashamed about listening the legend or something that could mention about me.
Why?
Because I'm not satisfied about myself working here.
What? You do an amazing job here.
No, I just have a what is that? A strength. Yes. It's just a smile. That is only my.
No way. You deal with teachers and parents and students from grade 5 and 6 up to grade 12, and you deal with maintenance. I mean, you deal with so many different people.
I'm really, really grateful about that.
Oh, no problems at all. How long have you been at the school for?
I think I was starting working here from 2011 August.
Wow, so 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, but every time, because this is not Korean style culture.
No.
So every day it was very new.
Of course.
Yeah, so every time I'm nervous.
Yes.
And every time I have to be ready.
Yes.
And that's why it makes me improve.
Yes.
About my career.
Because I know also how much you want to make sure that your English is correct and your writing is correct, and if there's a mistake, you want to know because you want to get it better.
Yeah, that is my hard goal.
It's good
about the English.
Yeah.
But you are very, very clear, and so I'm so happy to working with you. But I'm so sometimes I have a challenge about listening.
Of course.
Well, and I feel guilty after when I ask sorry or pardon.
Oh, you should never. You're operating in a second language. I struggle to operate in the first language. No, you do a fantastic. But when you first started at the school, you weren't working for the secondary principal, though. What was your first job when you came into the school?
Yeah, I work at the finance.
Okay.
Yeah, because I have experience about finance and accounting.
Well, what's your background in that finance area before you came to the school here? What sort of jobs were you doing before?
Yeah, I worked at trading company.
Okay.
Yeah, because always I interested in English speaking, so that's why I work related in English.
Yes.
That's why I work at the trading company.
Okay.
And and couple of company I worked, I learned accounting and English and trading skill.
Yeah.
And that's why the finance experience makes me coming to
the
school. Yeah. So
and how long did you work in finance for?
I think 3 years or 4 years.
Right. And from there, then you're obviously at the school here, but where did you go from there? In what area did you work?
And then just to middle school secretary.
Right. Okay.
Mr. Swenson.
Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's a few years ago.
So that's why I've been here working at secondary school about 6 or 7 years.
6 or 7 years. Okay. Well, we love having you here, Jinhee.
I love here too.
That's right, and the students love having you here. And as I said before, I think you do an absolutely awesome job. Jinhee, it's just been a short conversation, but it's been a really interesting conversation, and hopefully that students out there and people out there who listen to this podcast can understand what you bring to our school here. It's a huge amount. So, Jinhee, thanks for coming into the studio.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it was very, very good experience.
Wasn't too hard? Yeah. Wasn't too stressful?
Every time I feel hard. It's no way easy for me,
Well, you did a fantastic job being interviewed in English. Well done.
Thank you.
See you.
See you. Bye.